Hello, my dear students. This is P. Venkateshwarlu, PGT Physics. In previous video, we have to completed our previous chapter, System of Particles and Rotational Motion. Okay, so today we will discuss about new chapter, that is chapter number 8. Chapter number 8, gravitation. Chapter number 8. Chapter number 8, gravitation. Okay, see, my dear children. So, what is gravitation? What is gravitation? Every object in the universe, which attract another object with a force. Every object in the universe which attract another object with a force. That force is called force of gravitation. Force of gravitation. Force of gravitation. Okay, see here. First Galileo observed that. What is the scientist name? Galileo. The scientist Galileo observed that he is first observed that objects are fall down from some height towards the earth. Okay, he is first observed that all bodies fall towards the earth. Okay, understand? So everybody falls on towards the center of earth. He observed that. After that, Ptolemy, he said that geocentric model. Geocentric means, see, according to this Ptolemy, all planets which are moving in a circular path around the earth. Okay, so geocentric means, according to Ptolemy, he said that all planets revolved around the earth. Earth is the center means these planets and sun revolve around the earth. That model we can say geocentric model. So next, Copernicus said that heliocentric model means sun is the center of the planetary motion. Okay, so he said that Copernicus said that sun is the center of planetary motion, means all planets which are revolve around the sun in a circular orbits. Okay, so after that Galileo also support of Copernicus theory. After that, Galileo also supported this heliocentric model. After that, scientist name is Tycho Brahe. So what is the scientist name? Tycho Brahe. Okay, so Tycho Brahe is a scientist. He spent his lifespan about planets. Okay, the motion of the planets. So with naked eye. So always he is in research with planetary motion, how the planets are, where the distance and how the planets are revolving. So artificial satellites like that. Okay, so he spent his entire lifetime towards the motion of planets and like that. Okay, so he gives some information. Okay, so after that the student of Tycho Brahe, that is Kepler, John Kepler, John Kepler. Okay, so along with the Tycho Brahe, Jan Kepler, and he finalized that he gives the conclusions of Tycho Brahe, so in the form of Kepler's laws, Kepler's planetary motion. Okay, so what is that? Kepler's planetary Kepler's planetary motion means Kepler's laws, which are very very important. Okay, understand? So first Galileo said that all bodies falls towards the earth. Okay, after that Ptolemy said that the all planets are revolved around the earth. Okay, earth is center. Okay, earth is center, all planets around the earth. We can say that is geocentric model. Okay, after that Copernicus said that heliocentric model. Sun is the center of the planetary motion. All planets revolved around the sun. After that Galileo supported his theory. Okay, understand? After that Tycho Brahe, he spent entire lifespan about planets. Okay, with the naked eye, so he observed and he do some experiment, he give some models. Okay, so after that according to John Kepler, Kepler's forward that laws and theories. Okay, in the form of Kepler's law of planetary motion. Okay, so next Kepler's gives three laws. Kepler's first law. Kepler's first law. Kepler's first law. Okay, after that, lifespan of Tycho Brahe, John Kepler forward his entire research in the form of three laws. First law. So first law. So according to Kepler's first law, all planets revolved around the sun in elliptical path. Okay, see here, this is sun. All planets are revolved around the sun in elliptical orbit. Okay, this is elliptical shape. Okay, like that. Here sun is there. Okay, remaining planets are revolved in which path? Elliptical path. Okay, understand? So sun is the foci. Understand? Means sun is the center. Center of elliptical path. Understand? Next one. Second law. Okay, see here we know that all planets are revolved around the sun in elliptical path. Okay, so in this case suppose it is a planet. Okay, see here and consider these areas. We can observe that planet moves from one place to another place like this. Okay, understand? See here, according to second law, see the line joining from the sun to planet. The line joining from sun to planet is sweeps out equal area in equal interval of time. Understand? So he said that aerial velocity is constant. dA by dt is equal to constant. Okay, so after that dA by dt is equal to L by 2m. Okay, so next you will get, my dear children. So just this is rule. The one is second law. So according to Kepler's second law, the line joining from sun to planets is sweeps out equal area in equal interval of time. By observing, these areas are different, but while calculating, this area is same. Okay, we can say that is aerial velocity is constant. Aerial velocity is constant. Okay, understand my children? Yes. Coming to third one. Third one. Third law. Third law. Okay, so we know that in this case we can observe this elliptical path. Elliptical path. We can divide into like this. See here, this is sun. Sun. Okay, see here, this one is, we can say, major axis A. This is semi-major axis. Okay, here this line is called major axis. This vertical line we can say semi-major axis. Okay, here consider one planet. So which revolve around the sun in elliptical path. Okay, the time taken by the planet around the sun we can say that is time period. Okay, time period. The time taken by a planet around the sun in elliptical path is called time period. So now according to third law will give the square of the time period of the planet around the sun in elliptical path is cube of semi-major axis. Okay, understand? Semi-major, semi-minor axis. Understand? So according to third law, the square of the time period of the planet around the sun in elliptical path, which is directly proportional to cube of the semi-major axis. Semi-major axis means horizontal line. Okay, semi-minor axis means like this. Understand? So these are the three laws of Kepler's law of planetary motion. So what is first one? Yes, my dear children, Kepler's first law said that all planets around the sun are revolving in elliptical path. Sun is the one of the foci. Means all planets revolve around the sun in elliptical path. The center one is sun. Second one, the line joining from center of the means sun to planets is sweeps equal area in equal interval time. So we can say that the aerial velocity is constant. Okay, third one, the square of the time period of the planet around the sun in elliptical path directly proportional to cube of semi-major axis. So this is about three laws. Okay, universal law of gravitation. Universal law of gravitation. Universal law of gravitation, my dear children. Okay, so we know that. So what is the gravitation? So gravitation is a force between two mass bodies. Okay, in universe, every object will attract another object with a force of gravitation. Okay, so the force of attraction is irrespective of their masses. Okay, see here. So consider two masses, m1 and m2. Their separation, the distance between them is r. Okay, so according to this universal law of gravitation, the magnitude of force of attraction between two bodies or two mass bodies or two objects, which is directly proportional to product of their masses m1 and m2. Okay, the force of attraction between two masses is the product of two masses. Understand? So next, the attraction force between two masses is inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. Square of the distance between them. Say it is 1 by r square. 1 by r square. Understand? So by using these two relations, we have to get F is directly proportional to m1 m2 divided by r square. See, in physics we can get every law like in mathematical form. Okay, directly proportional like that. So by removing this proportionality, we can take some constant F is equal to G m1 m2 by r square. So G is universal gravitational constant. G is called universal gravitational constant. Understand? G is called universal law of gravitation constant. Okay, understand, my children? Yes. What is the statement of this universal law of gravitation? The force of attraction between two bodies is directly proportional to product of their masses, and the force of attraction which is inverse proportional to square of the distance between them. By using these two relations, we have to get F is directly proportional m1 and m2 by r square. So by removing proportionality, we can keep proportionality constant, that is G. G is called universal law of gravitation. Okay, yes. So coming to how we can find that universal law of gravitation and units of gravitation and the constant of universal law of gravitation. Okay, understand what is the formula? Yes, F is equal to G m1 m2 by r square. Okay, yes, G is called universal law of gravitation. So what is the SI unit of G? SI unit of G. G is equal to, by rearranging this, G is equal to F r square by m1 m2. So how we can write SI unit? What is the SI unit of force? Newton. SI unit of square of the distance between them, meter square. SI unit of mass 1 and mass 2, kilogram. Rearrange this, Newton meter square per kilogram square. Understand? This is called SI unit of universal gravitational constant. This value is 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. But approximately the universal gravitational constant value is approximately 6.67 or 6.11, I think 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. Understand? So then CGS system or time centimeter square divided by gram square. What is the dimension formula? How we can write dimension formula? Yes, dimension formula we have to write by using this relation. Newton means force. What is the dimension formula of force? M power 1, L power 1, T power minus 2. Then what is the meter square? What is the dimensions of meter square? L power 2. Then kilogram square means m power 2. Rearrange this m power minus 1, we can get m power 1 means here this m power 1 we have to take in numerator, we can get m power minus 1. L power 1, L power 2, L power 3, t power minus 2, t power minus 2. Okay, understand? Dimension formula is m power minus 1, L power 3, t power minus 2. Very, very important one. Okay, in one of the year in JEE they asked which of the following one having negative dimension of mass. Okay, see here in plus 1 we have to get negative dimension of mass is universal gravitational constant. Universal gravitational constant. Understand, my children? Okay, see, we know that about universal law of gravitation. It is statement which gives the force of attraction or the force of attraction between two objects. It is directly proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. Next, vector formula. Vector form. How we can write vector form? So say it is m1 and m2. This is radius vector like this. F12, F21. Okay, if the force moves rightward means like this. See here, this is R1. Say it is R2 like that. Okay, both the distance are same. Okay, so now we have to write F bar 12 is equal to F bar 12 is equal to G m1 m2 by R square R21 cap. Okay, so it is a unit vector. So then F bar 21 is equal to F bar 21 is equal to minus of G m1 m2 by R square R12 cap. Understand? See here, we can say that R12 cap is equal to minus of R21 cap. So by using this, F12 bar is equal to minus of F21. So according to Newton's third law, in every action there is equal and opposite reaction, my children.